Hey there everybody. So I've decided I'm going to do one of those videos where it's the cheapest whatever in the USA. I've managed to find one of my dream cars in my backyard that is the cheapest in the USA. So let's talk through the why it's cheapest. I haven't bought it yet. I'm going to go out this afternoon. I'm going to pick this thing up. I'm going to bring it home. Supposedly it's drivable. Supposedly it's going to make it. But I want to show you the cheapest 1997 Mercedes S500 Coupe in the USA. This here is the cheapest S500 that I could ever find. Now, everybody says that the most expensive car you could ever buy is a cheap Mercedes, and we're going to find out together whether that's the case, because this, my friends, is for sale for $1,000. And let's talk about why. So let's start with some of the photos. So I have an alert set up on Autotrader, Car Gurus, a couple other spots that send me information on cars for sale that kind of fit the demographic that I look for, which tend to be older Mercedes Benz, older classics, older American cars where you don't have to deal with the depreciation and you can have some real fun working on a car yourself, and you get to really enjoy a premium vehicle at a very discounted price. And in this particular case, you've got this 97 Mercedes Benz S500 Coupe. It's for $1,000, and I'll show. Let's look through some of the photos. So you can see here in this particular photo that the car looks really, really, really decent. I can see already that we've got some clear peel on the hood, but on balance, this car looks really good from the front. The headlight wipers, sometimes these are broken or missing. They seem to be there. There doesn't seem to be any major issues. When I look at the interior photo, again, no rips, no splits on the seams. The center armrest looks good. The car in and of itself looks like it's been well maintained. This is a rear seat. You can see it's got the rear seat console. You've got the heated seats. You've got a lot of the cool things that come with this top of the line, almost what in today's dollars would be a $200,000 car that was built for Mercedes-Benz back in '97. Looking at this, again, you've got no obvious rips or tears or splits in the seats. Things look clean. The wood looks clean and unchecked. You've got what appears to be the factory stereo system, as well as the sometimes strange and troublesome climate control system here. The dash doesn't look cracked or warped, and everything looks like it's closed up and in the way that it should be. Going to this photo here, I can see right away that we've got a little bit of a blemish here on the corner, and I'll talk about my conversation with the owner in a moment. I can still see some clear peel. I can also see what looks like some clear peel back here, but we do have this this bang on the front corner, and a little bit of rash on the bumper. Kind of moving around to the back corner here. Again, the driver's side looks really, really, really solid. There doesn't appear to be any issues. Front of the car looks really good. Again, no obvious issues outside of the clear peel. And then, again, kind of an off corner shot. You've got what might be a little bit of an issue here with this panel gap from the driver's side wing, headlight area, and bumper, where that might be a little bit off, and you can see that back on this photo as well. But we're going to take a look at that when we go look at the car together. So that's the pictures. I did message the seller and said, hey, is this thing still available? And I'll talk about that phone call in a moment. Let's continue to walk through the ad itself. So the car has 148,760 miles. Again, on the 5-liter Mercedes-Benz V8 and a 5-speed automatic, that's about legitimately a little more than halfway through its useful life. These are 250,000 mile to 300,000 mile engines before needing significant maintenance. The transmissions are fairly bulletproof, although you may not get 300,000 miles out of that transmission. There's still it's a good combo, and there's tons of them out there from a used parts perspective. It does have the Mercedes famous silver. Mercedes racing was silver, so you can see a lot of silver Mercedes. That's kind of their trademark color with the black leather seats. You ain't gonna get into a the Prius type conditions with your gasoline. But it again is an amazing car, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go through the car together. But from a seller's comments perspective, they did give the full VIN. So I ran a Carfax, and that's going to help explain some of what we were able to discern in talking to the owner. So it says, I'm selling my 1997 Mercedes Benz S-Class. Please contact me with any questions. Runs good, daily driver. So again, I'm sitting here going, okay, I've got $1,000. This is March 29th of 2022, where $1,000 barely gets you a set of tires or a bicycle, let alone a running, driving, daily driver quality Mercedes Benz. So immediately kind of said, okay, I've got to take a look at this. Runs good, daily driver. And so kind of take a step back and go, okay, what's the issue? Let's run the Carfax and see what we've got for Carfax. So immediately we've got a rebuilt branded title. So let's take a little bit closer look at this Carfax, because this might be the reason we've got an issue. So get on the horn with the owner after looking at the Carfax. But let's walk through the Carfax together. First, you got owners 1 through 4. Again, we're now on owner 6. Normally a red flag for me. So we've got a lot of ownership in this car. You see the last couple owners have been California, Washington, which tend to be good from a rust perspective. This being the C140 or W140 chassis, they tend to not have a ton of rust problems, but they've got their own unique challenges. And there's a lot of things from an electronics perspective that can go wrong. But again, you're seeing from a structural damage, airbag deployed, none of those kind of things. But severe damage is noted at 2 points, 2 accidents reported, but no airbags, no issues of odometer, no massive structural damage, nothing open on the recall. So let's take a look at what we've got here. I like to look for a few things. One, do we have a situation where the car has been dealer maintained? That's obviously kind of put a big check mark. The second is there anything on the Carfax ownership itself that would tend to raise alarms? Again, we're talking about a $1,000 car here. You're lucky to be able to pick up a used Ford Fiesta for $1,000. So, taking a look at this from owner number 1's perspective, it looks like it got, we've gotten repossessed here within that first 5-year ownership period. But it doesn't look like it was necessarily the world's best maintained vehicle. Not seeing any dealer maintenance that might have occurred here. We do have service at 15,600 miles. Rolling through owner 2, again, California car. So this looked like it was originally Illinois, Georgia, Illinois car for the first few years of its life, and then transferred over to Georgia in 2001. So we may have some rust issues to look at. But not likely given the short period of time that it was in Illinois and the low number of miles that were on the car. It likely wasn't driven much in the winter, but we'll take a look. Then we've got the California. It was sold obviously out of dealer inventory after repossession. In California, looks like it was serviced once with a reporting service facility, but no service facility name given. Car continues to rack up miles without any major issues. Now, again, this is a double-edged sword. We're not seeing dealer maintenance. We're also not seeing dealer repairs. So the car may be one of those good, solid cars where stuff's just not going wrong and they didn't have to take it into the dealer to get repaired. But we're not seeing the maintenance history that I like to see on a used vehicle. But again, $1,000. So again, kind of running right through regular renewals on the here's one with Park Avenue. So air conditioning and heating control assembly checked at 84,000 miles. We know it's got about 150,000 miles on it now. So that was a little while ago, 12, 13 years ago, 15 years ago, excuse me. So we've got that information. We also see that it's failed emissions inspection once. We failed emissions inspection twice. So those 2 failures of emissions could indicate that we've got a little bit of an issue here mechanically, whether it's running too rich, whether we've got issues with the oxygen sensor, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But again, that's what we've got here. We do have what looks like a minor accident, rear end collision. Vehicle was damaged in multiple places. Airbags did not deploy. that may be the damage to that front fender where it was involved. It rear-ended somebody. You saw that kind of front driver's side tweak on the bumper. So we're going to take a good look at that when we go look at the car together. And then we've got the damage report, total loss of vehicle at 129,000 miles. And so I did ask the owner about this, and again, I'll talk about my call with the owner in a moment, but we do have a total loss. So this is essentially what we've got now is a branded title. So we've got a rebuilt title because this was totaled out by the insurance company as part of a insurance settlement on a second accident. And then we've got, again, it's past emissions inspection shortly thereafter. So we're talking, a year later, 5,000 miles driven, past emissions, vehicle serviced in California. Again, looks like it's probably been regularly serviced, but not necessarily by reporting dealers. And then we've got owner number 4. We've got rebuilt title. It was run up and then past emissions in 2021. Owner number 5. Again, rebuilt title. Owner number 6. So I run the Carfax. I pick up. I message the seller. Seller says, "Hey, give me a call." Pick up the phone. Call the seller. Seller says, "This was my dad's car. He bought it used. So dad was owner number 3. He passed away, but he always maintained the car. But dad had suffered from some health issues. Shouldn't have been driving. So this accident was a very minor accident. This accident that totaled the vehicle, what the owner said was the vehicle was totaled because of this crease on the front wing of the car. And as a result of the cost to actually repair that with proper Mercedes Benz parts and paint and the age of the car and a number of miles at the time at which it was hit, I'm at 130,000 miles in 2012. They totaled the car, but his dad bought it back from the insurance company and said, "Hey, I'm going to keep driving it because there's nothing really wrong with it." Well, I guess his mom said, "You ain't going to keep driving it too much longer." So his dad passed away. His mom inherited the car. There's owner number 4. Owner number 5 is the son who then moved up to Washington. And so now we've got owner number 6. So the car has kind of moved, but it's been within the family since 2007 or 2006. Well-maintained vehicle according to the son who's selling the car now. Car was parked for 5 years, not really driven. He's gotten it running. He's had it serviced. He's had it looked at, but doesn't need the additional car. Gas prices are too high. Doesn't want to cover the insurance. His mom can't drive anymore, so they don't need the additional car. And I said, "Okay, why are you asking $1,000?" And the comment I got back was, "Hey, the Carfax is a branded title Carfax. Nobody can qualify for financing. This isn't going to be a collector's car. Nobody wants this thing because it's a Mercedes. It's old. It costs a lot to maintain. And candidly, I just need to get rid of the car. So the price is right." Because the first question was, "Is this the accurate price? It's $1,000 here." And he said, "Yeah, the price is right. The price is accurate. Why don't you come on over and let's take a look and see if we can get a deal done." So I'm going to be going over after work to this guy's house. We'll take a look at the car. We'll see if it's the right vehicle for us. And if it is, we're going to go ahead and make an offer, get that car brought back over here, and we'll walk through the life cycle of this car together. Now, again, just for those of you who haven't seen these videos before or don't know my background, I do split time between Seattle, Washington, and the Tampa Bay area of Florida. So I split between those two. So this car is going to get, and I'm headed back there this weekend, so this car is going to get acquired, brought back, but we probably won't have a lot of activity on this car outside of some walkarounds and some look-ats until I get back in town in a month or so, and I'm able to kind of really dig in on the vehicle. But let's go take a look at this thing. Let's see what we've got and see if the cheapest running, driving 1997 Mercedes S500 Coupe in the United States is worth the $1,000.